This is my custom-built offset smoker, and today we're taking a closer look at it. This video is sponsored by me, PITMASTERX, so big thanks to myself. That's just a joke because I gave myself this as a present. It always has been a dream to get a real offset smoker. But for years I've been holding off because there were a few problems why I could never really seriously own a good offset smoker. The real good offset smokers were not built in Europe. Of course there were a few builders that did a good attempt and built something that I liked, but it was never hitting the sweet spot with me. So the other option was to order one from the USA and then ship it to Europe. But the cost of shipping an offset smoker like this to Europe is absolutely freaking insane. Another reason that I never bought one of these offset smokers is because of the sheer size of it. As you can see, it might not fit in every backyard. But when I connected with Prince, who builds the offset smokers, I kind of fell in love with their pits. And I started talking with them about an option of getting one of these offset smokers. And then soon we got to talking about what the perfect offset smoker should be, and we were so aligned and so in tune with each other's thought that we decided we need to build the ultimate offset smoker for the European market. And this is what it ended up to be. And I'm super proud because this thing is an absolute beast. It is a true monster. This is what real barbecue enthusiasts dream about. It is a wood fire offset smoker. For those who are new to that idea, then here is a firebox and here is a smoke chamber. So the firebox is offset from the smoke chamber. The principle is that you start a small fire in your firebox and let that slowly build up the heat in the smoke chamber. And once you got beautiful embers going, you only need a log every 30 minutes or so to keep it up to temperature. And of course, depending on the outside temperature and humidity, you will need more or less. But then when the barbecue is up to a temperature of between 110 degrees Celsius and 120 degrees Celsius, it is smooth sailing. You put on some meat and you just let it smoke for a long period of time until it turns soft, juicy and tender. Let's do a quick walk around of this barbecue. Starting by the firebox, we got the door of the firebox, which has no actual vents. So it's completely closed off, which means you control the airflow by opening and closing the door. And it will keep in a position that you set it in. Another feature of this firebox is the sheer size.
It is absolutely huge!
Which means we can have our fire in the first part of the firebox, and that is very important because it will give us a larger cooking surface that we can actually use inside the smoke chamber. One more feature that I personally find very important is the plancha. We have a grilling surface here that you can make burgers on while you're waiting for your brisket to cook. Because if you're cooking large pieces of meat at a low temperature, it's going to take a lot of time. And chances are you will be hungry in the meantime. We even have a small raised plancha to keep your food warm on. And while the plancha of the firebox in general is around 200 degrees Celsius, the lifted plancha is around 40 degrees Celsius, which is perfect eating temperatures. Now of course we have the PITMASTERX logo on the side, so you know it's a real PITMASTERX offset smoker. And then we get to the smoke chamber. The length of this smoke chamber is 140 centimeters and the width is 60 centimeters, which means you're gonna have a huge cooking surface. The grill grates inside this smoker are also optimized because you want support for your food, but at the same time you want as little as possible contact between your food and your grill grates. And if you're worried about kids stealing your food, well, that won't be the case because this lid is quite heavy. Oh, look, food. In front of the smoke chamber we also have a shelf that you can easily pull out and set out of the way so you can get closer to the barbecue. Take this off and set it inside your smoker so you can actually season it in the barbecue. Of course we have a tell-true thermometer and we have a stand, and we can lower the chimney onto the barbecue, and that will make for easy storage and transportation. And to do that, all you need to do is unlock this bolt. We put on a wide chimney, one that will make it easy for the airflow to flow through. No restrictions, which means no smoke leakage out of the firebox and the smoke chamber. And of course, with all this weight, we needed some heavy-duty wheels. These things are absolute monsters and will ride over anything. And if you're a professional caterer, you will love these wheels because this will put you in the place where you need to be to cook for your guests. Personally, I like to keep my airflow unrestricted, but if you want to, we have a damper that you can actually use to restrict the airflow with. And in some cases that could be a handy feature. We even put a scale on it, so you know in which position you set it last and how you're going to set it again in the future. You might have already noticed this thing. This is a smoke collection box. And then what that does is take the airflow of the smoke, which is going up from the firebox, and then it goes down again because it needs to go in that collector box. And that will give us the perfect heat arch to go over our food, get it smoked to perfection and out of the chimney. And this is one of the most important features that you can have on an offset smoker, because that airflow is key to get the perfect end result. At the end of the firebox, inside the smoker chamber, there's this little tray that will help to push the smoke towards the food. And on top of it, you can place a water pan. That will allow you to control the humidity in your barbecue. In the Netherlands we have plenty of cold and humidity, so most of the time we won't need that water pan. But it's always a good option to have, especially if you're living in Spain, Italy. Some other features that this offset smoker has is the hooks on the outside, a bottle opener, and of course the unique serial number, which will tell you exactly which one you have. Because this is 001. And these offset smokers won't be rolling out of a factory. No, these are all custom built, which means someone took the time and effort to build this beautiful thing. Now in reality that could also mean there's a waiting line if you want one of these. But we think a custom built offset smoker like this with character is the ultimate unique feature. Owning an offset smoker like this might look a little bit scary, but it's actually quite okay. Because once you get this barbecue under control, it's like a locomotive. If you're ordering the PITMASTERX Offset Smoker, you can get this pre-seasoned or you can season it yourself. Personally, I enjoy doing the seasoning myself because it's just the whole experience of getting a raw steel offset smoker and then just getting it absolutely beautiful. Now this has one single coat of seasoning on it. Over time the seasoning will become more dark and more obvious, and what the seasoning does is seal off the steel and prevent it from rusting. Now should you be worried about rusting? No, you shouldn't, because this is built out of 8mm thick steel. That means that this offset smoker will not last only your lifetime, but also your children's lifetime and their children's lifetime. One of the unique products that actually doesn't need a lifetime warranty, because there's not a single thing on this barbecue that can break down on you. As you can see, this is heavily inspired by a lot of Texans offset manufacturers, and you can see we studied their main features and included them in this offset smoker. But the coolest thing is that we now have an offset smoker in Europe that is comparable to what they built in the USA. And we needed this for so long. And of course I'm heavily biased, but I absolutely freaking love this thing. It's like falling in love with a hunk of steel. It's a weird feeling. It's what it feels like. Well, thanks for watching. If you like juicy, you never know which way you're gonna squirt. I was just gonna say if you like juicy sausages, but it's not ripping the way I would like it to, but hey. But hey, nothing better than a smoked sausage from the barbecue. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Oh, so good. Feels so hot. What a mess.